Hello and welcome again to Leonard Brothers Game. I'm David, and we're playing Blue Shift. And I'm still calling this Half-Life just because it's just an expansion to Half-Life. But anyways, it has a fairly similar opening to the previous game, and just this general uh, tram introducing the world and the environment and all kinds of stuff to the player. And I'm going to double check to make sure my cheats are on, because I don't want to go through this as I did in the previous sections of the game. Select codes, make sure, okay, lock and load. I'm going to have that on, so I can have all my weapons. Weapons are good. I like my weapons. Anyways, yeah. Yeah. Anyways, this is kind of really the first expansion pack to a lot of games. A lot of games, DLC kind of thing that they have like bonus content and stuff. And this was one of the earlier attempts at really adding on to a game. I think it was made in '99. Yeah, '99, something like that. And so they Valve and a bunch of people who apparently eventually worked for Gearbox, stuff like that. And they said different names there that worked on this little expansion set. The one thing about Counter Strike was originally it was a fan made mod that Valve bought out and decided to make their own game out of, and I think the guys who made it came off pretty handsomely off it. Quite a bit of money. You can get some significant royalties from the concept, and now there's Counter Strike Go, which is actually one of the first. It's on PS3 and 360, but it's actually the PS3 version, if I remember correctly, can link up to the PC version. Now, a lot of other first-person shooters have tried and failed. There was a game, I think it was also called Shadowrun, that was, a lot of people were hoping, at least on the 360, that it would be like the other Shadowrun games, but it turns out it was a first-person shooter in a general arena style. I think multiplayer only, kind of like Titanfall, but older. And it had a lot of different like spells and magic and equipment and stuff like that, and you had those kind of character classes, but you're just running around killing each other rather than doing missions and doing significant RPG stuff and really like leveling up your character or doing anything special like you expect in a typical Shadowrun game. So a lot of people were disappointed with it, but it was a feature in the game to link up with the PC version. And of course, a lot of people were just like getting destroyed because keyboard and mouse is clearly superior, as I've proven with this attempt. If I did have a proper Dreamcast mouse instead of the controller, it probably would work better than it is right now. And it's not a feature that the 360 includes. So people playing the game on a controller were getting beaten up easily by PC players, and so that feature was shut down. The whole network was shut down eventually just because of the game's age, and a lot of people apparently aren't playing 360 games online anymore. At least something that old, and it's kind of disappointing. Where people look at Titanfall as being this new, amazing, awesome thing, and it's like not really. If it had a single player campaign, if it had a regular set of like multiplayer bots or local split screen multiplayer, it would have some replay value when the servers go down. But when they do, and it's the thing, when servers for PC games go down, at least they can tell them to connect to other servers, like other people who are maintaining these old PC games. And just because the PC can be like reconfigured, whereas the PS3 or 360 system, they can't really be like told to point to other spots, at least not easily. I know there was a feature on the GameCube that people wanted to play Mario Kart Double Dash online. Normally you couldn't. I mean, the only way you could really use Mario Kart Double Dash, at least with that intended, was to have two GameCubes, two broadband internet adapters, and have them both GameCube connect together, two copies of of Mario Kart Double Dash, and you could have 8-player games, which is pretty awesome. In fact, they had an 8-player feature, but you had to have two different systems. So what people did, they had it hooked up to the computer, and they had it set up for a specific server, and it would send the same signal of the other GameCube as if it were right beside it. So it's like, yeah, you got two GameCubes right beside each other. It's not going through anything else. And you had a special program, I think it was for PC and for Mac, that if you set it up with a buddy online or whatever, and you can ping their IP address, you could have wireless, or this online multiplayer with at least just Mario Kart Double Dash. I think it might have been other games as well, like Phantasy Star Online. You could connect to an unofficial server, but most people just really don't do that. I mean, you have to set up obviously in advance, and it's not as convenient as other things are, like the typical internet connection to, especially like PS2 stuff. I mean, a lot of the games they don't have support anymore, even though the PS2 and the original Xbox, their network adapters. I don't want that door open. Am I supposed to climb into one of the other sections or what? Okay, finally, it'll open that door. I wasn't really listening to this thing. I was like, okay, here we go. Welcome back to Black Mesa, blah, blah, blah. Moving on. Okay, come on. Jumpy, jumpy. Okay, here. Loading. I'm so excited to get in there, and there's another loading screen. How fun. So anyways, in general, I hope that with the coming consoles and other stuff, that there was a report that Microsoft's considering putting 360 backwards compatibility into the Xbox One through emulation. And it would be nice if they were to go even further and get like original Xbox. If you've purchased games on your system, you should be able to play them everywhere. That would be nice. I can't go that way? Okay, I can't go that way. Anyways. Let's see, this refreshment area. Everyone loves the refreshment area. Because that's all normal and happy. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, I hope that, Sony has PlayStation Now, I suppose, is what they're pushing for PS1, PS2, PS3 backwards compatibility and so on. That they can have like a rental service or some other kind of distribution that can stream these games. Gaikai, they bought out that Gaikai platform and are, I guess, working on games like Last of Us, even though they recently made a PS4 port of the game. Because sure, why not, right? I heard one explanation for having made the PS4 port so soon after the PS3 version was that a lot of people had switched from the 360 to the PlayStation 4, and they didn't have a PS3 to play the game, and it was like exclusive at the time to the PS3. Fire weapon here. I got it. Now let me in there and get me a firing range. I want to fire. I want to fire at stuff. Open the door. Open the door. Open the door. Yeah. Anyways. Kind of nudge. Just a little bit. Yeah. Not headshots. Not good enough. I don't know if I have to practice on each of these ones, or can I kill this guy? Oh, I'd probably fail. I know I'd probably fail the mission. You can't fire with a donut, you silly fool. That's not a gun. That's a donut. Headshot. Alright. I've done enough practicing. Can I move on now? Can I leave? Thank you. I want to leave. I'll get out of here. I've got my gun, at least when I'm supposed to have my gun, and I can leave. Open the door. Thank you. Okay, so, there's that. There's also, I think, some other issue. I can't remember what it was. Anyways, what am I doing here? A bunch of panels. Alright, so. Looking at stuff. Okay. Hey, how you doing? No problem. Moving on. Can I get out of this? Escape? No, it's pause menu. I don't want the pause menu. I want to leave. I hit. Maybe. Yes. Okay, it just shows me that thing. Let's try over here. Oh, okay. Oh, drive the Zamboni. I guess. Another Gordon Freeman type. Unless it is Gordon. That'd be crazy. Like, am I seeing Gordon over there? And that section is the firing range with the guy with the donut. Because that is not a gun. Come on. Back out. Back out. Alright, is that it? Is that all I do in this room? Or do I do something else? I can't remember. I didn't play Blue Shift as much as I did the original Half-Life. I mean, even then I didn't really play that much often, so... That's very strange. Unless I do something else back here in the armory, I'm not sure. I don't know. Anyways, until next time, happy gaming.